by giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Akakudash. Also, I'm giving double honors to the apostles of GMS. All right, I'm Yilach Mara'ah. Salutations to the men, women, and children of the house of David by Yafdawadah. Also, special salutations to the Chief Araya camp, Camp Head Thawan Mayim, to Karak Al Kahan, to Akrab Shapat. And this lesson right here is also, it's basically like a testimony, and Lord willing, it's edifying for those to actually learn and maneuver, and be an immune system. The scriptures speak on this church being as a body, right? And any body, all right, has an immune system, all right? And the importance of that immune system is what I'm going to go into, all right? And without further ado, I'm going to just get straight into it. This is the Wikipedia, and it says the immune system is as a castle. It says the immune system is a silent wonder. While we are very aware of our heart beating and the breath we take, we are much less aware of our immune system that protects us from thousands of potential deadly attacks every day. So every day this body is under attack. Every day the body is under attack. It says in this chapter we will discuss the immune system we each possess that is working around the clock, protecting us from disease and death. All right. Now spiritually, we are the body of Yahawashi. All right. Let me actually get that scripture. First Corinthians 12 and 27. Now ye are the body of Yahawashi and members in particular. So each brother inside this truth is part of this body of Yahawashi, and we are all members. All right, okay, so we all have a special functioning, just like our bodies, our hands, our skin, okay, our heart. And being that we're focusing on the immune system, all right, the body of the Lord also has an immune system. Okay. And getting into it, as you see, the immune system is like a castle. A castle is what? It's pretty much a defense. Okay. So it says a good way to start understanding the immune system is to liken it to a castle. A castle, like our bodies, is a fortress. A castle has 3 lines of defense. All right. So it says the first, a moat and a drawbridge. Now, when you go into a moat, that's pretty much like a water around it. So nobody could just walk into this castle. Okay. So you actually have to let down the bridge to let them in. Okay. And see, the testimony I want to give is, pretty much dealing with a renting situation where I was opening a drawbridge for a brother to bring, almost leading the brother into disaster, bringing disaster or trauma into the body, because the person was just trying to benefit, profit, gain, do a ill come up off of a brother, a sincere brother, okay, who are laboring with this truth day in and day out. Okay, so that drawbridge, when you let down that drawbridge, you're pretty much letting people come in. So you have the towers, you are able to see who's coming in. So if you're at the tower and you see who's coming in and you're saying letting down the drawbridge, you're pretty much saying that this person is okay. When me letting down that drawbridge to opening up a person who was trying to make a $4,000 profit. They were trying to make a $4,000 profit. Jack up rent about $500 extra on the brother, and I was letting that in. I was letting that situation in, which is not being a good first line of defense. Basically, you're going to let trauma come in, because then what if then there's no lease being signed. Okay, so now what? So now now if the person decides to just run off with the money, then what do? Now what situation does that leave me in? Damn, I just actually forwarded an affliction towards a brother. So these situations, more or less, and it didn't go through that way. through counsel, okay? But these situations have to be prevented better, okay? I have to be a better immune system to the body. You can't just let the drawbridge down to anybody in. And then how much more you being a person, um, and a person is able to tell you to let that drawbridge down and let them in, that says a lot about you, a lot about my character, which is that's something that I have to pray and fast on and pray the Most High makes me a good defense, a good immune system, be able to be more circumspect, discernment, okay? And things like this will be more prevented. Okay, so let's say, so we know the drawbridge, the moat is the water, and the drawbridge is what you need to let it down and let them in, right? So it says the first line of defense in our bodies are physical and chemical barriers. Our skin, okay? The importance of the skin, that is the first barrier of defense to the body, okay? That is the body's largest organ, all right? And what I want to go into is Psalms 52 and 8. We're going to go into the scriptures because without the scriptures, all right, there's you can't say man can't live without live by bread alone, but every word that proceedeth, we need this to live, all right? Because if we don't get if you let foreign bodies in, it don't matter what you eat, you're gonna die. You could eat any meal, you could eat a bread for a day, but you'd be sick the next day. So these scriptures are that immunity. So it says Psalms 52 and 8. It says, "But I am like a green olive tree in the house of Yahawashi Yahawashi." So let's get some understanding on this. So the house of the Lord, David compared himself as a green olive tree. Okay, now let's look into the benefits of the olive tree. And it says olives are very high in vitamin E and other powerful antioxidants. Studies show that they are good for the heart. They protect, okay, against osteoporosis and cancer. Okay, so the olive itself is a defense. Okay, it helps build the immune system. Okay, it says the healthy fats and olives are extracted to produce oil. All right, now one major part too is it says it's very high in vitamin E. So when you go into the vitamin E, it says it is an ingredient for many skincare products. Okay, so it helps improve that first barrier, which is what? Again, the skin. Okay, especially those that claim to have anti-aging benefits. Vitamin E supplements may prevent coronary heart disease, support immune function, prevent inflammation, promote eye health, and like that eye salve, so you can see better, right? And lower the risk of cancer. So this is just it says it's 10 benefits of vitamin E. Just taking a look at vitamin E, you know, and it's is an ingredient in many skincare products. So very, very important for that first line of defense. So that's what King David was. He was like that first line of defense. Okay? Now, let me go back to this article, okay? In which it says again the immune system, right? So it says our skin, okay? Now stomach acids, because the stomach acids, what they'll burn up, any foreign body substances. It says the mucus tears, okay, vaginal opening, of which the last 3 months produce lysozymes to destroy harmful incoming pathogens. So again, I have to be that first line of defense. So when you hear certain situations that ain't right, they charging way more rent than you even paying. That's strike one. Strike two, they asking for a security deposit when there's no lease signing. That's strike. That's another strike. And then again, you're not even able to see if they're even going to be making the payments for you that you're giving them. That's another strike. So these are things that gotta go off on the radar and gotta be like, nah, that's not people's. I'm not passing on that information. That or you You stand up and be that defense for, you pull out that sword, the word. Listen, that is wrong what you're doing. All right? Rebuke. Okay? Because one thing about Jake, our people, they're gonna utterly supplant. So they gotta feel that, you know. Meanwhile, we in the midst of a pandemic. You're gonna be even more worse than the devil himself that put this out to actually go ahead and try to come up on somebody. And like I said, those are 2/3. The 2/3 is wicked as hell. They're gonna come up with that. But me hearing that, I'm in its truth. I gotta have the mind and body of Yahawashi Yahawashi. Gotta be what? A line of defense into the brothers. Let's get it. It says 1 Peter 5:2. It says, feed the flock. I'll start from 1. The elders which are among you, I exhort, whom am also an elder and witness of the sufferings of Yahawashi, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Now, I'm not saying I'm an elder, I'm just reading the scripture. Right? It says, verse 2, feed the flock of Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi, which is among you. All right, so if you got a brother under you, you're supposed to feed him, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof. So what? You are supposed to be what? Making sure that nothing happens to that sheep. That you are being there for that sheep to guide him to graze upon his grass, drink this water, lead them and out of the sight of danger. And if danger come, you move away that danger. You make that danger fall back. Okay? Very simple task. And that is what King David did. So he's the first line defense. He protected his sheep from a bear and a lion when you read about King David. Okay? Now it says, not by constraint, but willingly. All right? But willingly. Okay? Not for filthy lucre, not for money. All right? But of a ready mind. Meaning anything that comes, you have to be ready in mind. Anything that comes inside this body is ready for it. That's why, it is spiritual that this whole virus thing is going on. Right? What is the biggest push? That your immune system be pumped up. Why? So when it comes in, and if it do come in, that immune system is strong enough to fight it off. Because if it ain't, guess what? That person dies, and then you're going to be responsible for a loss of a brother, and that's going to be on you. So the importance of the immunity is very important. The importance of being built up to be to take the oversight is very important. It says neither as being lords over God's heritage, right? Not like ruling a brother like, I control you, but being an example to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away, because you were protecting them. Now, if you let some stuff happening, the chief shepherd coming there, where's my sheep? What answer you gonna have, brother? Talking to myself, what answer am I gonna have? Hubbada. Come on. All right, you got to grow up in this truth. It says, Proverbs 27:23, be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks. So you got to know, man. You got to know. You got to be diligent, okay? What it says, to know, to perceive, to distinguish, to recognize, acknowledge, confess, right? Right, you have to be able to just recognize. It says, let's get it in totality. It says, be thou diligent. So be thou able to recognize and know the state of your flock. So you got to know, damn, I can actually send this brother. I know he's looking for a situation, but you got to know that, damn, that's not going to benefit that. All right? This sheep ain't going to be able to handle that walk. It says, and look well to thy herd. You got to look for their well-being. Put somebody in a situation where they're going to get devoured by wolves. It says a mind, will, the heart, the understanding, inner man. All right? So look after their mind. And it's funny, the olive oil deals with again, the heart. Okay? So again, being that line of defense, that's what King David was. and that's what this is what this church the church needs, right? So I'm gonna get back to this immune system castle. It says second sentries and archers who stand on the castle wall in our bodies. The second line of defense is non-specific immune responses. It says macrophages, neutrophils, interferons, and complement proteins. This line of defense also includes fever and inflammatory responses and non-specific diseases. So, what it'll heat if something do come in there, it'll heat that body up to burn it out. All right, because that's what it happens with a fever. It makes your body get hot to actually burn it up. So, you know, this is the second line of defense. But you see, we had a second line of defense and how much the body got to do. If the first line could do good, we don't got to get to that second line. It shouldn't have to get there. It should be able to be prevented. Now, learning from the lesson, which it should have been clear as day. This shouldn't even went that far at all. But learning from the lesson, now boom, that is identified. He ain't letting the drawbridge down. They ain't getting in there. All right, so here's the second line of defense. That's when they add that heat. A brother come with that fire, and burn that whole spirit of the that whole spirit that whole spirit on out of there, man. Which the having counsel with brothers, the elders above me did. Okay, and it says this line of defense also includes fever and inflammatory response. So inflammatory. Let's look up inflammatory real quick. It says inflammation, causing swelling or irritant. Okay, so that's what happens with the inflammation. It'll cause a swelling. It says inflammatory diseases, arousing or tend to arouse anger or violent feelings. Right. So, and that's when the brother coming down with that fire, because it has to be that foreign body that's in it. Now I got to get rebuked. Now it got to get up on out of there. All right. That's why this it's a reprove, rebuke with all long suffering. And honestly, man, Second Timothy 4:2, preach the word. Right? What is the word? The word of Yahawashi, right? The word of Yahawashi is pure. All right, it's not subtle. It's not subject to hurt. All right, it's transparent. All right, in which if everything was transparent, there would be no problems. You would see that this man is sincere. He's not looking to come up off, or do anything. And if the other party is sincere with renting out their space, they'll show you, well, listen, I just want to make this amount of profit and this, that, and the third. Here, you can make this payment down, and this is how much I am getting it for. If you feel comfortable to make that payment to the direct line, so that payment's being made, and you give me my little profit on top, then things would be more clear. All right, things would be more understandable. But when you hide in all of these things, it makes it more complicated. And the fact that, the first line of defense don't investigate, don't be circumspect about that situation. All right, you don't know the intentions of this foreign body, and you let it come in, and then, man, it just started, it starts becoming destructive. It says, preach the word, be instant in season. All right, out of season. All right, that means to be ready in season, out of season. At all times, this immune system is active. So at all times, the church is under attack. At all times, right? This castle, this body is under attack. It says reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. All right, so 2/3 got to hear how messed up they are. Hey, that's what had to reprove and rebuke. It don't matter the relationship stance after that, because they shouldn't be allowed to be even pushing something evil to capitalize off of our own. Here it is. We are again in the middle of the pandemic. All right. And here we are coming up on our own again, even more worse than what the devil himself would do. So that has to be rebuked. that has to be reproved. All right. And if they don't hear it and they move their way, cool. At least that drawbridge wasn't let down and that foreign body wasn't let inside of the castle to cause harm to the body. Then you got brothers getting all heated up. All right, getting that body heated up. That is because it's on you, because you didn't decide to rebuke it at the forefront. All right, you are causing the body to do extra work. You know, and that ain't really cool at all, because you should need to be able to see that. You need to be able to see that. And guess what? If you can't see it, that position of watching and being that front tower going to be replaced. So that's a main important part of being in that body, man. All right. Now it says the third one, soldiers within the castle. Now soldiers within the castle, automatically comes in my mind. All right, as the angels. All right, it says our third line of defense is specific immune responses, T cells and B cells. There are many types of each which work like close knit team to destroy pathogens. Right, that now the angels say, let demonic pathogen in, and that gets inside the brother body or the brother mind. Them angels is going, or like say the second line of defense ain't work, that rebuke ain't heated up, and say it's still in the brother mind. Damn, you know what? I think I'm gonna still do it. That's when the angels go to work. They remove those thoughts. There's an angel over your thoughts. Okay, the angels is going to guide your paths. Psalms 91. They're going to keep you in the way. All right. Let me get these scriptures. Psalms 34 and 7. Let me get this. Psalms 34 and 7. It says, the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. All right. So that last part is when the angels, all right, are going to go to work. Okay, they're gonna go to work. So now you gotta drag the angels into it. So the angels like, all right, we got this one. But now the eye gonna be like, yo, if it don't need to get this far, we're gonna have to replace you. Because this is at the like logically speaking, man. I wouldn't want to be out this truth. I want to be in the truth. I know that this truth, this is the way. But logically speaking, you gotta up the immune. You gotta up your first line of defense. If that's not up, what do you think? What do you think is to be done? That if that forefront keep messing up or doing silly stuff and not paying attention, right? Let me get this. Exodus 23 and 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. Be circumspect. He said, in all things I have said unto you, circumspect. Shamar means to watch. Okay, to keep guard, to observe, give heed, to keep, have charge over. So in all things, keep guard, watch, be a warden, award, protect, save a life. Save a brother from some trouble, man. Save the body from having to go into the heat up mode and do all of this. Save the trouble. Just be on guard. To keep, retain, treasure up. Also in memory. To keep within bounds. Keep certain situations within a certain bound. We ain't got to get that deep. Keep it at bay. All right? Those are the importance, again, of that first line of defense, man. Going into the immune system of the body. Okay? Now, again, it says T cells and B cells. There are many types of each which work close knit to destroy pathogens. If pathogens, invaders, try and succeed and penetrate the first line of defense, then the second line of defense is ready to act. So, sometimes that first line, right, it'll get past that first line, all right, because you got things like flu disease, certain things they could switch up. And Satan gonna switch certain things up. So, not saying that, you're gonna be unstoppable with certain situations, man. You got to be able to read that. That's not called for, man. You got to be able to assess the situation for what it is, you know, and that's that. You can't be letting it get that further in when it's showing up as a foreign body substance, when it's showing up insincere. Now, this might be somebody, how we have brothers come around and seem sincere, or so you let them get past that first line of defense, right? Right. So it says if both the first and second line of defense fail, then the third line will act. Third line of defense will act. It is when all three lines of defense are breached that we get sick and are subject to disease. Okay, so all three lines of defense are imperative unless we bring a disease into the body. All right. And that disease means to what? To make the body be uncomfortable. Dis-ease. At a dis-ease. You're not at ease no more. A disorder of structure. Woo! A disorder. So disease will bring in disorder. So if you let certain things come in, you're going to break up the order we're set up of a structure or function in the human, animal, or plant, especially one that produces specific signs or symptoms that affects a specific location and is not simply a direct result of a physical injury. Right. So they produce certain symptoms, and you'll see certain signs. So when you see certain signs or certain brothers at a disease, at not at ease, they're showing symptoms that something's bothering them. So that's how you're able to read also. I'm learning how to be more circumspect, even with Akim around, because sometimes there's giving off certain symptoms where you know that the foreign body have broken past and gotten to them. And then, the brother vent out the situation and, we reconcile through the spirit of power, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, and it be put more at ease because the scriptures is what? If you had a discomfort, the scriptures is a comforter. All right. Um. So what are we trying to say is that the immune system is set of mechanisms and defense protecting an organism from infecting by identifying and attacking pathogens. This is a difficult task since pathogens range from viruses to parasitic worms and must be detected with absolute specificity as they are hitting amongst normal cells and tissues. So that's Jake, man. Surely a brother shall utterly supplant. They look like, but they really come in, they're really a pathogen coming to destroy. It says hidden amongst, so you have to actually be able to what? Detect that. All right, so let me get some more circumspect scriptures, man. And that is very, very important. Circumspect. Spot here for the misspelling. Circumspect. Why didn't we got one thing popping to say? Make sure you walk around circumspect. Is that Ephesians 5 and 15? Or Colossians? Let's see. Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. You can't be a fool, brother. You can't think that everybody's out. You can't be a fool, man. All right, this is we in 20. We at the end. So it says accurately. You got to be accurate. This person's no good. They wicked. They trying to come up. Greed. All right, because that was the to break down the whole situation of the testimony. Someone had a spot to rent out, and what this person was renting out their place for, I don't know the amount that they were paying. They were trying to rent it out for $13.50, 1 bedroom apartment, and within that, they wanted a $4,000 deposit, 2 months rent in advance, and I guess the last part was no, not guess that last part was a security deposit, and Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, the last month with the that was the security deposit. So in total, it was gonna be $4,000, in which that person was gonna be moving out of town. They was gonna leave their apartment, and they needed somebody to attend to it because if not, they would be breaking their contract. So here it is, they're setting up standards to move out to a place that's cheaper, all right? So they can save money, but they're gonna be head cracking. So these are flags as a first line of defense that you have to wake up to. You gotta sit down and before you bring a situation into the body, you gotta sit on the outside and study, ask questions. You know, it doesn't matter if it make anybody uncomfortable. So let me ask you something. How you expect somebody to trust you for just giving you 4,000? You know, what would you do if somebody was doing that towards you? You know, these are these are these are the first line of defense that things that you have to do. Question it. Question the whole situation. You know, and that's where it is of being transparent. And see, transparent is that mirror, and see you could see if it's a disease or a pathogen just by asking those questions. Just by seeing. So wait, if you want him to give you and take all the risk, and pay that absurd amount of money, all right, and you move out of this area, okay, and then and basically benefit 500, 600, whatever how much you coming up off of, and leave a person with paying you something that you all the way out there, and he don't know if you paying it down, sending them the payments. So he don't know no way, shape, or form if you sending them any payments at all. You know, just reiterating what questions and things that need to be said. Nah, that's not cool. That's stupid. First of all, that's greed. Then call it out. Then paint. Then now start being painted. Okay, I see. That's a greed virus right there. All right. Not only is that a greed virus, that's a careless, selfish. Okay, evil. You know. You know. And then paint it out for what it is, and then maybe it could be cured. If you want to fix that situation, be transparent. Let's see. Sit down. Show how much profit line margin you really making between this. Let this person be able to make the payments to the agency or the area himself, so he can see that it's being made. You know, but these are again, these are things that um has to be said, not even just in this situation. I'm just using this situation for an example. Okay, I'm using this situation just for an example, of how if you don't ask those questions, you can let those wicked situations flourish, in which that's just Jake, okay, being evil to another Jake, when everybody is like everybody is you close, so you shouldn't even be operating or thinking like that. But again, going back to not to take away Ephesians 5:15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the times because the days are evil. So you got to know that. Shit, I got to know that what in these days somebody gonna look to get up and come up because it's evil. Shit getting worse. Other people are going to be looking for come ups because they less. Oh, they got this game going on now. Um, some damn what the name of this game? Man, it's like some Ponzi scheme thing, and where people put $100 in and somebody put your name on it, and man, it's some I don't even know the name of it, but this is what they got going on during this virus, during this time of this virus. And then the person who you pay $100 to, they basically make off with the bread. You know, you paid your $100 on it, they basically make off with the bread. They say you move up in the position. It's all bull crap, man. They say redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. All right, the will of the Most High is for us to what, to preach, reprove, rebuke. Okay, it says verse 18, and be not drunk with the wine wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. All right, don't be drunk with this Babylon juice. Don't be drunk with the ways of this world. Like that's normal. Nah, that's not supposed to even be looked at as normal. When you think that's normal, oh no, that's it. That's because you are drunk with the juice of Babylon, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Speaking, verse 19, speaking to yourselves in psalms with the scriptures and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to be to the Lord, Yahawashi Yahawashi. Giving thanks always for all things unto Yahweh and the name and the Father in the name of the Lord Yahawashi Mashiach. All right. So let me see. Let me keep going into this thing. Circumspect. Let's see. Let me get this last one. Jeremiah 15:19. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, if thou return, then I will bring thee again. And thou shalt stand before me. And if thou take forth the precious from the vow, all right, because the Most High speak of taking the silver from amongst the 10, okay, which is his elect, his choice men, okay, from amongst what, these 2/3, all right. It says, thou shalt be as my mouth. Let them return unto thee, but return not thou unto them. Right, so like the Campet Mayam said, hey, these people got to convert and change unto us. We can't go into their ways. You can't get caught up in going into their ways. Opening the door, the gates up, and walking into their land. Nah, they got to be able to come up unto us. You understand? So it says, verse 20, and I will make thee unto this people a fence. I will make unto thee, verse 20, and I'll make thee unto this people a fence brazen wall. You see that? That immune, that first line of defense. And they shall fight against thee. Okay? For what? Trying to break in. But they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee to save thee and to deliver thee, saith the Lord, Yahawashi Yahawashi. Verse 21, and I will deliver thee out of the hand of the wicked, and I will redeem thee out of the hand of the terrible. So the Most High at the very end is always going to deliver and stand up for Israel. But we got to be circumspect. We got to be those first line of defense, using the scriptures and applying everything, man. Applying everything. All right? Lord willing, this is edifying. Again, this is something that I have to get better with. This is something that I acknowledge as my flaws, and something that I'm gonna pray. Pray to other brothers out there. Do put up prayers as well for me and for those who may be lacking in being more circumspect and rebuking certain situations where you don't even got to get no further into the body. You understand? So again, Kahalayim La Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rakakadash Shalom.